look at the flowers.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is James, and in this video, I'm going to point to a Reddit thread that I come across I thought was kind of funny and wanted to share with you guys. So hey, a quick disclaimer. You guys know I'm a Walking Dead fan and everything, and I'm a fan of all these weapons and crazy things they do and crazy walkers, crazy weapons they come up with. It's a zombie fantasy show, and that's what it's all about. That's part of the genre. That's part of the show, coming up with crazy weapons. And sometimes you got to say, I can't find any guns. I got to use this crazy axe looking thing that's put together from like 2 or 3 farm tools. So these type of videos and discussions, it's just all in good fun, all in good fun. The thread asked, what's the most stupid weapon in the Walking Dead universe? And it did say universe, and the person attached a photo to the thread that is almost undoubtedly the most stupid weapon in the Walking Dead universe, the Triceratops horn tied to a stick. But about the Walking Dead universe, everybody's got to have a signature weapon, right? There's so many characters in the show and the different shows, and they all seem to have a signature weapon. Some stupid, some makeshift, some impractical, some practical. I mean, take Rick's Python. Hey, that's an awesome gun. I mean, I would love to have one myself. Not that I would ever use it, but just to have it, right? It only holds 6 bullets. It's very loud. It's very heavy. It is a great gun to have, but is it the one you really want in a zombie apocalypse? You got Daryl's crossbow, which is a badass weapon, but man, can you load that thing fast enough? And can you have enough ammo just through time? You'll have to raid a bunch of sporting goods stores and just have a backpack full of bolts. It does show Daryl retrieving the bolts often, but really, is that a practical weapon to just have all the time? And you can even say about Lucille, the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, Negan's Lucille bat. Hey, it looks cool and it's intimidating and all that stuff. But as far as a practical weapon, it wouldn't hold up. The wire wouldn't stay on, and the bat itself, even though that's some hard wood and would, you could probably hit several times, but not like Negan does and not for that long of a time. I just don't think it's practical and would last. But, if you're in a zombie apocalypse and you're swinging at a few walkers and the bat breaks, just get something else. There should be plenty of things around to use as a weapon, and not everything is exactly a weapon. Like, it's not a gun, it's not a knife, it's not a spear. It could be a wine bottle, a blender off the counter, smash it into a walker's head. There's a lot of things you can use as a weapon, but actual weapons in the show, what's the dumbest? Let's get back to topic. Sometimes they use things that are cool, like, the Python and different things like that they're just cool weapons, the crossbow, but are they actually practical? And you got to ask that about the Watcha. The 100, I would say maybe around 100 arrows in a box that they can light all at once. I have seen some modern tests on some shows like Discovery Channel or Smithsonian Channel, something like that, where they did these tests and they're not really accurate. If the enemy is running toward you, you got to aim it just right to where the arrows will hit like they're running into them. Otherwise, they're going to land behind them, or if not aimed right, they could hit just in front of them. The accuracy on some weapons is definitely questionable. I think we'll get to the dino bone on the stick at the end because it really, I think personally, is the most craziest, stupidest thing writers have come up with for the Walking Dead universe. Say Tyrese in The Walking Dead had a hammer. That's good, man. You swing a hammer, it's going to hurt somebody, whether they're living or dead, a walker. But you got to get up close and personal. So I prefer guns or a long spear, something that keeps me away from, at a good distance from the walker or the person or whatever it is I may be trying to defend myself against. And don't forget that Reaper story arc where one of the Reapers had a blunderbuss gun. And that's like you would call it maybe a pirate gun or something like that. They are supposed to work. And if you think about having a shotgun shell, say you've got a shotgun and you're out of shotgun shells, you're screwed. But if you have one of those blunderbuss guns, you can really pack anything in there you want, as long as you got some black powder charge in it. I think that's the way it works. It just shoots out a bunch of crap you cram down in the barrel. So that could be okay in a zombie apocalypse if you think about it that way. But I think it's kind of a stupid weapon during these times when there's so much other availability out there. There's a lot of crazy weapons just to make people look cool or just to be a signature weapon, something awesome, that kind of thing that's brought into play. But as far as The Walking Dead goes, a lot of people, if you look at the Reddit thread especially, They say slingshots are stupid. Connie and Kelly slingshots. And I can get where you're coming from as far as you think that's a stupid idea, but slingshots, you got to be good with them. And if you're in the zombie apocalypse like Connie and Kelly, hey, they got plenty of time to sit there and practice out in the woods or wherever, set up some targets, practice, and you've got plenty of ammo, right? But we know by studying the ancient Romans, when they were in battle, a lot of them used slingshots, slings, and a slingshot can be as deadly as a .44 Magnum, hit you with as much force as a .44 Magnum bullet. Some of the big slings and stones they used in the Roman army could take a head off. So, are slingshots stupid? Many people in that Reddit thread say yes, but I have to disagree with them. I have to tell them, no, you're wrong, dude. For you, it may be, it's all personal about how someone can use a weapon, like Morgan and his staff. If he's trained with it, if he likes it, if he keeps practicing with it, he can become pretty deadly with it. But just give that stick to a normal person and they're like, okay, I can use it as a spear, but I can't do all that mumbo jumbo with it. If you're not trained with the slingshot, maybe you're not as accurate. Maybe you're not as good. Maybe you can't provide enough force behind the stone or ball bearing. But slingshots are damn deadly, dude. Damn deadly. And of course, we're going to get your ideas and talk about it down in the comments. But here's my thing, my top 2, possibly, craziest, stupidest weapons that they've written into the shows. And it's not in the Walking Dead main show. One is in Fear the Walking Dead, and it belonged to Alicia. It was the shroud of a gun barrel. She sharpened it at one point. It was so big around, she couldn't even really get her hand around it to hold it. But that was her signature weapon. Maybe she had to get a little more up close and personal with her butterfly knife that she had at one point, but it was, to me, better, cooler. And before we get to that number 1 weapon that was in another spinoff, World Beyond, that I'll talk about, it had a bunch of stupid weapons, let me just go ahead and say, but this one, of course, tops the list. I want to mention the kill stick, which is the culling facility weapon. We've seen it in World Beyond. We see Silas with it and the other guys. They show how to use it. Stick, twist, and it's all over with for the walker, supposedly. I don't think it's that great of an idea or a weapon, or it would work as easily as they show it working in the show. But that's what Rick has. That's the weapon Rick has. He took it with him. I guess he was at the culling facility, escaped, and that's what he had with him. And it does make at least for a weapon if you don't have anything. To me, it looks like a retrofitted garden tool. But now let's get to the actual dumbest weapon. So there's these things called S-poles in the Walking Dead World Beyond. They're cool little sticks that have retractable blades at the end. You press a button, boom, a blade comes out. Very handy dandy. They're sticks, kind of like spears, become spears. You can stay at a distance and kill a walker or whatever, be defensive. So they're pretty cool little weapons. But one of the characters had one that was a dummy. It didn't have a knife blade in it. It was just a dummy stick that looked like an S-pole to practice with. So that's what Iris, this girl right here, that's what Iris has. One of the other kids has a triceratops horn, and they tie it to the end of it or attach it to the end of it. It's not even really tied on. I mean, oh my God, that wouldn't last one stab, of course. I mean, you really can just see the stupid in that weapon and the alternatives to something better. You could sharpen that stick and it'd be a better weapon. If you had a blade, a knife, like a pocket knife, trying to maybe tie it on there a little better, should be a better weapon. The fossil definitely has a little part to do with the story, but it makes it just really stupid. To me, in the writer's room, I would have went, guys, that little fossil thing, maybe we can keep it somehow, but ending up tying it to the end of a stick for one of the characters to use as a weapon, that's stupid. We got to take that part out, But of all the weapons in The Walking Dead and the spinoffs, what do you think is the dumbest one? What do you think's the best one? What do you think is one that you would be comfortable with? Of course, in the show, they can hardly find bullets. They can hardly find guns. They can hardly find stuff. I'm here to tell you, if half or more of the population just died and went away, even if they were walkers, that means they just went away. They don't need their house and stuff anymore. Just in a 20-mile radius of where I am right now, I don't think you could ever run out of guns or bullets. spears, crossbows, all kinds of awesome and cool weapons that you could use. They're everywhere in every house. There's stores everywhere, gun shops everywhere. Yes, other people would be taking that stuff. Some people would take an entire store, just a couple of people. But eventually those people would probably be found and killed and their stuff taken. I just think it would be out there. It would be available. There would be stuff you could find, you could scavenge. But that's just me. What do I know? What do I know? But let's find out what you think about it down in the comments below, and I will join you there to continue the conversation. This is James in Nashville. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more dead stuff.